Good morning. How are you all doing? Sarah here. Cold this morning. Cold in my shed. How did everybody survive the Christmas celebrations? Family, that kind of thing. I had a very quiet one here. So today I thought I'd share my new drum with you. So I made this drum on the new moon. The new moon was on the Saturday, the 20th, I think that's right, and the solstice was on the 21st. So I felt it appropriate for me to make a new drum to, just start some new beginnings, to welcome in the light, and to just generally mark a point of change in my life, a transformation. Mum was offered a place in a nursing home the week before, which kind of threw me a little bit because I expected her to be at home for Christmas. But anyway, one has to take the places when they're offered. So, and it's in a really very lovely nursing home. So I kind of felt a bit flat after that. Although, it was welcome. It's a huge burden off my shoulders, really, to having to care for Mum practically single-handedly. It was tiring and difficult from my end, and I and also from Mum's point of view. She didn't have the company here that she would like, so going somewhere where there's lots of people for her to talk to and what have you. Anyway, that aside, I felt it was kind of a big transformational point for me, the new moon, which is the setting of intentions for a new start, new beginnings for the next period. And it was a particularly powerful new moon. And so I gathered my things together, and over the space of a couple of days, I prepared the hide and the hoop. And I've used roe deer hide on this occasion, which is sourced from a friend of mine down in Sussex, Earth to Rebirth, which I think I said in a previous video. Anyway, all very sustainably sourced hides, and Eva and her friend Sarah prepare the hides for stretching and drying. So that it's all done in a very beautiful shamanically based way. So the roe deer has been working alongside humans for millennia. I think there's evidence of them on this planet from 10,000 years ago, which is humans were here then. And so the roe deer has walked alongside our ancestors, and so I felt it very fitting to use that hide for this new drum. And I chose red oak as the hoop, purely on its colour, really. It's not, and its association with roe deer in this country, although it's not a native tree. I believe it's from North America, but it's been used in or planted for the benefit of deer in this country for a long time. So it's very well established. It's a beautiful tree with lovely red leaves, quite big red leaves. And the wood itself, which I don't know whether you can see, is this lovely kind of mahogany colour, which works really well. So the reason that the red oak is planted for the deer is that it produces its acorns, or at least it drops its acorns later in the season. So when all the other oak trees, the English oak and the white oak, have already dropped their acorns and they've been eaten by the deer, the red oak supplements their diet later into the winter season. So it's works very well with deer husbandry, if you like. So I felt that those two combinations were really good. Deer, the spirit of deer is associated with quiet alertness. You know, that if you can imagine a deer in a wood that is completely in tune with its surroundings, that it hears every twig break, that it's aware of what's going on around it, it's aware of any danger, it's aware of the trees, the bushes around it. So it's this quiet, silent alertness that is very powerful with deer spirit. And the red oak talks to us about wisdom and protection and unconditional love, actually, which is a really nice quality to put into a drum. So I stretched my hide over the hoop, and I stretched the lacing, which actually I struggled with a little bit because parts of the deer hide were very thin on the edges, and it wasn't a particularly big hide. So to get two heads out of the one quite small hide, I had to use some of the quite thinnish bits on the edges, so that the lacing in parts was quite thin, and when I was stretching it, it kept breaking. But that's part of the medicine, if you like. So I felt that it was difficult, and there were breakages which were relevant to this last year, I think, which is what that kind of energy I want to leave behind. 2025 was incredibly challenging for me on so many levels. On a myriad of levels, and I'm sure for everybody it was very challenging. So the new moon and the welcoming in of the light is letting that energy go, and I felt that the lacing, that it kept snapping and was difficult to weave through the holes, was reminiscent of that, if you like. It was highlighting that. But nevertheless, it made, although it's it's not even, it's not perfect, it is my life. It's got a couple of lumpy bits there, which is where the very thin hide folded over on itself because it stretched more than the rest of the hide. So I was left with these sort of big lumps, but then it kind of lumped over each other. But nevertheless, it's turned out to beautiful, beautiful lacing. And I don't know whether you notice that, and I haven't got another drum in here, actually, but I do have a rattle, just so. Just to compare the colour. So this is, as I said, the roe deer that I got from my friend, and this is the colour of a red deer. This hide actually came from Germany, but you can see the difference in colour. So it was, when I was making it, it was a really pale grey, and I thought, oh, that's quite nice. I quite like that pale grey. It kind of looks like the moon. It was very pretty pale grey, and then as it dried, it got darker and darker and darker, until it turned out this incredibly dark. I don't have another drum that is quite so dark. And I thought, well, that's the new moon, that's the dark moon. That is the place where seeds of inspiration and seeds of growth are happening in this darkness. And it's only when the light comes in that they begin to sprout and to grow. So that actually was really special for me, and really potent medicine. The other thing that I noticed about it is that the two sides are quite different. So this side has got, whether you can see, a lot of scratches, and marks on it. And these scratches are from when the animal goes through a thicket and it catches a thorn in its side, and it's just, it's scratched the side and it's dug deep into the skin and it leaves a scar. And there are also other marks which are tick marks, which deer get a lot of. And again, it's all concentrated on one side of the drum. There are scrapings on here which are probably from the tools that Eva and Sarah used to clean the skin. And generally, I felt this side, there are bits of hair on it. Generally felt this side held more wounding, if you like. And then on this side, it's as clear. There are no scrapes, no marks, no tick marks, no nothing on it. And it has this lovely lightness that seems to be pouring in. And I kind of envisage this as being the return of the light, if you like. It's just beginning to pour into the drum to nourish and to help grow those little tiny seeds, and bring in some transformation. So as you can see, that these big marks and scratches on this side, which is what is being left behind. This is 2025. Goodbye, thank you very much, don't need to see you again. And welcome in 2026, future, the light, and new beginnings. So I have a lot to plan over the next few months. Still a lot of rest because it's winter. I don't celebrate New Year in January. My New Year is in March. So I have that period where I feel I can gather my thoughts and think about what it is I'd like to do this year and how I can offer some classes or one-to-one healing sessions or whatever. And the other thing about this lovely drum, and I don't know whether you're going to be able to hear this really. I'm going to move it away from my microphone because it kind of makes it go funny, but let's see if I can do it a bit better. You probably can't notice it, but there's a really strong vibration as the air is moving inside the head. And as the longer you beat, the longer I drum, the more resonant it becomes, and it starts to sing. It's absolutely lovely. And so I thought I'd just share my new drum with you. If anybody would like to make their own drum with me, please get in touch. I now have space in my calendar to offer certainly one-to-one drum birthing sessions, or I might even be able to set up some workshops as well. So if you're interested, please get in touch. It's been a lot, hasn't it? It's been a lot this year. So looking forward to a change in energy. We have the full moon on the 3rd of January. So I feel that's the ending of that stuff, all that sort of heavy energy that has been lurking around for a while now, and welcoming in with the next new moon at the end of January. I can't remember what the date of it is. Really the start, and I think the Chinese New Year starts in early February, doesn't it? So, all that this last year of the snake, shedding, we've done all that now. We've let all that go. And we're moving into the year of the fire horse, which is fast moving energy. Pretty powerful stuff. I mean, I'm not an expert on Chinese astrology, but it seems to me that everything seems to be working together. Everything, all the Western astrology and the Chinese astrology and things like the moon energies and shamanic workings, you know, through the medicine wheel and what have you, were really on the pivotal point of a breakthrough, I think. So anyway, please like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Ciao for now.